Oh yeah, yeah, we're live. We're live. Hi, Beverly Hills. I'm John. What is up, everybody? What goes on off screen goes on off screen. You know what I'm saying? Welcome in. Hi, with John in Beverly Hills. Do a little thing where I'm going to hold the mic here because I think it's worth the sound difference. What do you think? A Sydney 1395 will wave to you. What do you think? The sound, does it sound good here or in the traditional, like in the traditional position? Excuse me. Let's see what we got here. Traditional, super audiophile, like a little microphone, right? Not too bad. Well, here we find ourselves. I am high. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair to say. Accurately named show. See, I'm not afraid to get intimate with you guys. IG Live. Here we are. Had a really good day. What did I do? Went around. I chicken manned. I did a bunch of stuff. I chicken man down in Beverly Hills, and I did like it was a crazy big day for chicken manning. It ended up doing like 5 different random content creator media interviews with different content creators over there, just like one after the other. Because I went up rodeo, I was in my chicken suit, running around as a chicken man, and going up rodeo, and then it was just one after the other, content creator, content creator. It was wild. Like I did one. First one was like some dude who he seemed like he was like a gay fashion guy. That was how the vibe I got. And he had that was on Wilshire right before we go up rodeo, and he came at me and he's all excited. He'd been like he was like like a big flow, and he had like a pro camera dude off on the distance. He came up to me with a mic and he's like asking me about what I was wearing, and it turned out we're both wearing like the same color red shoes, which was pretty cool. And we had some good witty banter, went back and forth. And then I bounced off, and then the next one, let's see, I went around the corner, and then yeah, some other dude. Yeah, there was some other dude that got like a picture or video or something with me. I forget what it was. Oh, and by the way, leading up to this, like, dude, on the ride over, like, so many people were pulling their phones out on me. That was just like a warm up. And what was the next one that was good? Oh, then this dude had this like super chromed out Harley, and so I was like taking pictures of it or video of it, and then he wanted to get a picture of me on the Harley because it's like a show Harley. I've never seen one like it. It was super badass and cool. So I hopped on it and he got a picture, and then I went from there. And then, dude, check this out. There was a Chinese content creator crew, and they grabbed me, and it was a dude and chick, and they're definitely like from China. They're definitely CCP people, and they're telling me they're doing internet for China. And the girl, dude, they were super nice, and the chick was like, dude, like, there's no other way to say it, dude. She just had like perfect boobs, like in a friendly way, and it was like her calling card. And I was like, yeah, dude, let's do this. And like, so we hopped in front of the Chanel store sign where the it has a huge like 50 foot kind of like kind of looks like white marble, and yeah, so we did that interview. That was a really good interview. That was funny. Excuse me. So because they were asking me at the end, she asked me, what inspires it, what motivates doing the Chicken Man. So I told her humanity, joy, love, God, and to inspire people. So, but that's important too for China. I didn't because I was like, They need to hear about God. Like at least hear about it. You don't got to like get fanatical, but like just like the general concept, even if it's just like metaphysical super consciousness that like connects us all. Like anything that's like better than the government is like what China needs to hear about. Like anything. It's just like, hey, the government's not the highest power in the universe. Like that's a good message to get into China. And so that was cool. And then I turn and I go to like go do another thing. So I leave that. Then there's like a YouTube live stream guy that's there that I've been like doing some stuff with. So I hop in on his. And then I want to say there was like, oh yeah, and then like there was like two more things that happened just in Beverly Hills like that. Then I ended up down at a coffee shop down at Series A, where most of you know me from. Ran into this other dude who's an artist and ended up like impromptu making a video loop for him, dance around the coffee shop in the chicken suit, uh, for probably like a video. I mean, he has fire footage. The dude seems like knows what he's doing, like to make things go viral. So it's just like all like wherever I was stepping into today was like that, and then which is dope because that was kind of like the hope was that if it just because going out and doing one man street performing in the style and like this new style that I do that no one does, where I just sort of like do my own thing. Um, for it to actually start, for it to turning into this, where the reality is kind of reacting to it and almost setting up like a perfect little media slalom course for me. It was so fun. It was like a dream came. It's like a dream came true. A dream that I didn't know I had came true, and it was one that I created. It was built on the momentum of my own like hard work and frequencies and energies, and because everything goes into it, because it's the most honest thing. It's me directly interacting with the reality to see how the reality react to me. And it's true. Like when I act good, even if nobody's looking, if my intention is good, and I try to make an effort, like for some reason, all those moments do add up. Because I didn't used to just get to go run around and like make like my dreams come true and on the streets and stuff. Like I used to be like in the army, I was in the lower classes, so I know what it's like to just fucking be buried. And but even then, like all from back in the day, like every time I tried to do the right thing, even though no one saw me, like in junior high, like like I tried to like help somebody and it didn't really amount to anything, and the person still got kind of screwed over or whatever. But it still mattered. Like it turns out that all those little like efforts and intentions you do along the way, they do add up. Like they do pay off. Like you never know when. And conversely, if you're in those moments and you're just being like negative, the negative moments add up too. So it's cool because now it's like a breakthrough in that regard where it's just science. It's as plain as day now. That's how it goes. And it's awesome because now I feel like being unleashed into a positive, infinite future. I mean, that was one of the things when I was a kid, and I started to be like, oh, there's infinite. There's they talk about infinite and eternal, and infinite is space, and eternal is time. So infinite is like all the different stuff, permutations, and eternity is just time just never ends. Like there's essentially no time because it just never there's no beginning, no ending. It just goes. And I was just like, dude, that's a terrifying thought as a kid. It's like eternity. Like how the fuck do you like keep interested? Like how does not just turn to like a horrible nightmare conveyor belt that never ends? And I was like, oh, I gotta figure this one out. And I did. It's just you just it's entertainment. and you just gotta make it positive. You just got, and you make it positive by doing the right thing, led by your heart and good intentions, and you just gotta make it how you live, and then eventually it's almost like trying to start a campfire, and then eventually, the flint, like whatever, it sparks and hits a kindle, and you don't know which one, you don't know which go it's gonna be, like catches the fire, but you just gotta keep doing the repetitions, and eventually you enjoy it anyway. It's just like, oh well, doing the right thing is its own reward a lot of the time. Well, I mean, it's its own reward every time, and then sometimes other things also happen. That's what I can say about like doing the right thing. And it's not that I always do the right thing, and when I don't, I'm stupid. It's like it's dumb not to do the right thing. So, but also when you do the right thing, eventually the positive momentum builds up, and then good things happen. But doing it is always its own reward, because even without all the other stuff that happens, that's all you really have in life is how you act in moments. So, and only you really know. Because even if you're lying to yourself and like you're doing a bunch of shitbag stuff and like, oh no, it's fun, like you rationalize it, like and like if you're doing a bunch of crap, when you're alone with yourself at certain points, and like you're laying in your bed and like you've been disarmed for the day, and you go back to being like your inner child of like that person when you were like 8 or 10 or 12 or whatever it is, back when you still like had a clean heart, and you look at your, like you calibrate to who you became like in the moment, and you're like, you know exactly how much of a shitbag you're being. Like that's like that's just how it works. Like you're, even like if you're super delusional sociopath narcissist, like every once in a while you're gonna like know exactly where you stand in that regard, because it's you, it's nobody else. And it's like whatever. I wasn't, at a certain point, I just decided to strive to like just, okay, fine, let's try to keep trying to do the right thing, and that ended up being what raised my vibration, and raising your vibration is what allows you to do more of what you want to do. So it's like the universe just wants you to be not a holy terror before it like lets you start doing a bunch of shit. And that's like the key to growth, because it's not even just human growth or consciousness growth. It's like, you see, plants are a great place to look for growth patterns, right? Because whether it's grass or plants, or any kind, right? Because the species just, they have these little, Fibonacci sequences or whatever programmed into them, where they just flower of life their way out. And that's also cool because you can see intelligent design in that. Because you go, oh well, if I was a god and I had a barren rock for my canvas, and you're like, oh well, what's the first thing? Well, I want some vegetation to grow around and kind of like put carpeting in. Well, okay, fine. What algorithm do you give the plants to grow? And you're like, well, you need something that sort of like spirals. It has like a spherical outgrowth and like this and this, and covers the space, but it's like also maintains like the flowy, like, because it appears that the universe is basically composed of like torsional vortex physics or whatever. Something, maybe I'm not getting the words quite right, but like basically torsion physics. And so, then the Fibonacci's also conduct that sort of like built-in torsion that's happening in the ether, whether you see it or not. It's just like all that stuff. So yeah, and that's also why it's great to, when you do psychedelics, to do them in nature, because all the patterns are out there, all of the actual proper all of the actual proper building principles are at play in nature. I mean, humans do an all right job. They build a lot of boxes. If you pay, if for being real, they build a lot of like school. Oh, there's four walls in a rectangle and a floor and a ceiling. Oh, that's imaginative, guys. Uh, but if you go in nature, there's a fucking bazillion different structures, and they're all perfect. That's the wild thing. Like, it's just the law. It's just like the natural laws that are in the physics happen, and then the animals, they're with it. And if you look around, dude, there's not like, you never look at animals and think an animal's homeless, right? Like, oh, there goes a homeless fox. Like, there's a homeless buffalo. Like, no, dude. Like like somehow they all have homes and they all, however they roll. So whatever. Tie in Beverly Hills. What do you want? Well, I think that was a good little run. That's all we're trying to do here. Just little runs, little runs. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and always a pleasure.